Good morning. Today we are celebrating the birthday of a great soul. He came to give a boost to the humanity. That is the unique way he did. India, as a history of India, that proves that whenever the righteousness subsides, unrighteousness come up, always the God comes down to help the humanity. Again and again it has been proved in different times. We have seen the God, the Supreme Lord, took the avatar incarnation as a Ramchandra. Then he came as Sri Krishna. Then he came as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna in the modern time, 1836. When 1836, I noticed that the next village that was built in 1836 when the God he took birth in India, and that Supreme God divided his power in three different ways: Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasika, that three, but that was combined with Sattva and Raja. The Sattva and Raja, he was a pure Sattvic, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. So he thought, he gave the idea, but that was transformed into action by two other persons. One, a great lady, Ma Saradamani Devi, and a very young man, Swami Vivekananda. And today, in India, yesterday they have celebrated the National Youth Day. When they were searching whom can be taken as the youth idol, and there was only Vivekananda. And in 1939 he passed away, and before that he gave a wonderful boost up in the whole society. So 3,300 million people, Tetrish Koti, that was India's population at that time. By one man, can you imagine the power? And that too, in the 17th, 18th century, it went down so much. In the name of Hinduism, only some superstitions were there that was practiced in the society. You should not cross the ocean. You should not eat from him. You should not eat this. You should not do that. Only don't. And breaking that is not a matter of joke. That was the great thing that he did. And today we are celebrating. Before you start, let us, you have got the paper. So the first page you see, the Pranam Mantra, and also the Suprabhatam. These two we will chant. Pranam Mantra. Paru Tattve Sadalino Ramakrishna Samakaya Yodharma Sthapanarato Biresham Tam Namamyaham Biresham Tam Namamyaham. Lord of the heroes, the God of the heroes. Bira Isha. Bira means that those heroes, and he was the Lord of that. He was the master of that, the supreme. And what is this Bira? What he did? Dharma Sthapanarata. He established the dharma, righteousness. And what is this dharma? The dharma each and every one should remember that he is nothing but the Brahman, enshrined in this body and mind. That Supreme Brahman enshrined in this body and mind. If that is there in our mind, if we can think of that, we can never do anything wrong. We can never do anything harmful. So that is the idea. That is called pure Vedanta. So this Vedanta teaches tremendous self-confidence. What is that? I am that Supreme Being. I am that purity. So I should not do anything which is harmful to the society and to me too. So constantly that remembering, and that is called practical Vedanta. He did that. Yo dharma sthapana rata. Hinduism was there, Christianity was there, Islam was there, Buddhism was there. What religion he established? This truth. This pure Vedanta. So that Siddham, he was always by nature parotatte sadalina. That he was always merged in the supreme truth. Ramakrishna Samagaya, because of his guru's the order, he came down and broke his meditation and did this. So let us say good morning to this great hero. He Prishtanatha Sumahan, Yuga Shakti Dharin, He Nitya Mukta Satatam Hi, Mahavarenya, Ananda Rupa Bhuvivai, Jana Mukthakarin, Vishwasya Veera Suyate, Tava Suprabhatam. Good morning to you, O great soul. He Prishtanatha Sumahana Yuga Shakti Dharin. Every yuga is having a special power, and that power manifested through this young man. Yuga Shakti Dharin. Nitya Mukta Satatam Hi Mahavarenya. He is ever free. What is this mukti? Attachment. Attachment to anything. That is the bondage. And he was free from everything. That's why it says Nitya Mukta. You are ever free. There is no attachment. And when there is no attachment, there is no selfishness. And when there is no selfishness, it is only Ananda. It is only joy. It is only the bliss. So Ananda Rupa Bhuvivai. So he was the embodiment of the joy. The spirituality is nothing but joy. If practicing spirituality, practicing religion, people suffer, that is not religion. He himself is suffering, creating problem for others, that is not religion. Religion, basically, it is only joy, it is the Ananda. The one who is practicing religion must be always in joy. And whoever coming near him or her has to also feel that. Otherwise it is not religion. So next again let us chant these first two lines. He Prishtanatha Sumahan, Yuga Shakti Dharin, He Nitya Mukta Satatam Hi, Mahavarenya, Ananda Rupa Bhuvivai, Jana Mukthakarin, Vishwasya Veera Suyate, Tava Suprabhatam. He Buddha Shashvata Viveka, Shubodhadayin Sattasrain Janaganan Pathadanakarin He Mukta Sarvajana Mukti Vidhanakarin Vishwasya Veera Suyate Tava Suprabhatam. Buddha means knowledge. Buddha means jnana, knowledge. So the He Buddha, Shashwata Viveka, the Shashwata knowledge, the eternal knowledge. What is that eternal knowledge? There is only one and there cannot be two. That is the Shashwata, the eternal knowledge. Difficult to understand, as because we live, we grow in this so many variety, so it is very difficult to think even that there is only one, there cannot be two. But that is the Shashwata, that is the Shashwata Jnana, eternal knowledge. He was having that, and with that knowledge he did Janaganan Pathadanakari. He showed the path to the people. And to what type of people? Sutra, Satya Strait. Those who are good people, those who are practicing mindfulness, to them only, not for others. Those who are not, well, let them do whatever. So they will have to come according to their karma. But it is those who are striving to be good, immediately the tremendous power, the spirituality, come and help them always. He Mukta Sarva Jana Mukti Vidhanakarin. He himself is free, and he is directing people to get freedom. This is the word freedom, mukti. It's not swarga, it's not heaven, not going to any good place. I'm going to be completely liberated, mukta. What is this mukti? Mukti means completely free from bondage. What is the bondage? Misconception. What is the misconception? This world is true. That is the misconception. So step by step, if we break, we can understand. It is so easy. And the moment you know that, but at the same time, you need a guru. And this is Vivekananda. Bhaktischate subidita Bhuvi Rama Krishne Sri Rama Krishna Hridihe Sukritadhikara He Matri Bhakta Prithivi Bijai Dhruvam Tvam Vishwasya Veera Suyate Tava Suprabhatam He Shuddha Bhuta Bhuvane Shuchita Vidhata Riktartha Pidita Jane Ishara Buddhikarin Nityam Kripa Galitarit Paradukhaharin Vishwasya Veera Suyate Tava Suprabhatam. The Swamiji, he used to feel the pain of others. And his mind was completely so sensible. One day, it was almost evening, he suddenly found that a boat is capsizing. It is a Ganga river, it's a Belur Math, and just by the side is a Ganga. And in those days, the country boats they used to sell, and it was capsizing. Suddenly, he shouted to his disciples, "Hey, anyone going to save these people are getting mukti. I promise." And you can imagine those who knew the swimming, they all jumped and they went and then saved those lives. That is Vivekananda. The Vivekananda always felt for others. There was a plague, hundreds of people were dying, and some people they were going on taking the name of God. This is called Kirtan. They are telling Kirtan, by doing Kirtan all these things will go away. Vivekananda told rubbish. You have to clean the places, you have to give medicine, you have to treat them properly. But for that we need money. Government don't give. That time it was the Britishers. So he decided to sell the land, that Belur Math. He decided. But somehow other people they went to Ma Sharadamani Devi. Because if they sell the Belur Math, then where all these monks will go? Why? Under the tree. The monks are supposed to be living like that. But without the organization, nothing can be done. They went to the mother, and that mother, Ma Sharadamani Devi, said, "You have purchased this property in my name. Who are you to sell it?" That was Ma Sharadamani Devi, immediately. And then she said, "Naren, do you think just one relief work and all the Thakur's work will be closed?" No. So then afterwards the money came, Sister Nivedita and others, they went down. People also started understanding that we have to be clean, otherwise it is very difficult. So that way, so that was his Nittam Kripa Galita Rit. The one day he was teaching Vedanta and with the other brahmacharis. And in the Vedanta, in the Supreme, there's a Gaudapada Karika, and it says Jagat Duniya Hai Nahi. This world is not existing. It is very difficult. We don't speak about that mostly because people misunderstand that. That is the highest form of understanding. And he was teaching to these brahmacharis. And suddenly he saw the great actor and dramatist Girish Chandra Ghosh. He was going to bathe in the Ganga. Then he said, "Girish, whole life you spend in doing drama. You have not studied the Vedanta. What you have done?" Girish, he was a composer. He had a tremendous command over the language. Immediately he turned to the Naren and he said, "Naren, can your Vedanta help the poor, downtrodden? Can your Vedanta help the orphans, the widows? If not, then what the Vedanta for?" The way he was describing this, the beautiful way, Swami Vivekananda started crying. And he ran inside the room and closed the door. That great Vivekananda, famous in the whole world. Then the Girish said, "Do you know why I accept your Guru? Not for his Vedantic knowledge, but for his heart. Have you seen? I was just giving some description of the poverty and the people, the suffering. Immediately he started crying. That is the heart. The Nittam Kripa Galita Hirit Paradukka Harin. Anyone helping others, he gets the blessings of Swamiji. The Swamiji said, "Anyone who will work for me, my power will enter into him." Can you imagine the power of Shiva? He was the Lord Shiva himself. Anyone working for me. And what is the work of Swami Vivekananda? Helping others. That's all and nothing else. He gave a completely different turn in the Vedanta. Now let us conclude. Maya Bihina Bhuvino Nayamoha pare Tvam jagrato hi satatam Janamukti dharin Jagarti manavagana Tava suprabhavai Vishwasya veera suyate Tava suprabhatam Vishwasya veera suyate Tava suprabhatam Vishwasya veera suyate Tava suprabhatam. Today, not in this country of course, but the birthday of Swami Vivekananda, it is not Tithi Puja, it is the birthday. You know, the birthday, according to the English calendar, Gregorian calendar, they always say that birthday, and all the children will say happy birthday. That's a good. But we always calculate, and according to the position of the stars, and that is called Tithi. But this Tithi is completely different, and this Tithi is not today. It's the birth. As because is on the working day, we won't be able to celebrate on that particular day. So we are celebrating today. Luckily, I will be celebrating the Tithi Puja of Swami Vivekananda in Hyderabad. So this time I'm going to India. On the 17th, I will be there, and 17th is the Tithi Puja. And so I'm hurrying. Today I have to catch the flight. And this is a youth day, so and we are having some youths over here. Today Varadanandaji has allowed this young man to perform the puja. So Varadanandaji is naturally cannot be considered as youth in at least age. And sometimes some people they say, Maharaj, you are young. I don't say that. I won't get the benefit from this. So I am getting also the healthy benefit, so I am also no more youth. So I have the two youths, and they will be telling, one will speak on the biography of Vivekananda. So I request Barry to come over here. Barry? Vivekananda made the bridge. So America and India. So Barry is representing America, and another boy of Egypt, he will represent India. So that bridge will be made. Please come, Barry.
Greetings, friends. I would like to read a passage about the birth of Swami Vivekananda from the book, The Life of Swami Vivekananda, written by his Eastern and Western disciples. After reading this passage, I have come to the conclusion that morning shows the day. Chapter 2, Birth and Childhood. Whoever knows the longing of a mother that a son should be born to her, enters into the world of Bhuvaneshwari, the wife of Vishwanath Datta. Though she had been blessed with motherhood at an early age, her first child, a son, and her second, a daughter, had died in their childhood. Her next 3 children were all daughters, Haramohini, also called Haramoni, Swarnamayi, and another who also died in childhood. So she longed for a son to carry on the family tradition, to be the link forged out of the materials of love and suffering between the past and the future. It has been the practice of Hindu women down the ages to place their wants and complaints before the household deity, and to practice austerities while waiting to receive the blessing of the Lord. Thus, as Bhuvaneshwari went about her daily tasks, she prayed silently that her desire might be fulfilled. Now, it was customary in those days, and still is, for one in dire need, or anxious that some special event should come to pass, to make offerings and sacrifices to Shiva in Varanasi. Those who lived a long distance from the holy city could make their offerings through a relative or friend who might be resident there. Accordingly, Bhuvaneshwari Devi wrote to an old aunt of the Datta family in Varanasi, asking her to make the necessary offerings and prayers to Vireshwar Shiva, that a son might be born to her. It was arranged that on Mondays, the aunt would offer worship to Vireshwar Shiva, while Bhuvaneshwari would practice special austerities on those same days. It is said that by observing a vow of this sort for 1 year, one is blessed with the son. Thus, Bhuvaneshwari was content to wait in perfect assurance that her prayers would be answered. She spent her days in practicing japa and meditation. She observed fasts and intensified her many other austerities, her whole soul given over to constant recollectedness, her heart fixed in love on the Lord Shiva. Often did her mind go to Varanasi, uniting in thought with a venerable aunt, as the latter poured the sacred Ganga water on the symbol of Shiva, or worshipped him with flowers and mantras. One night, Bhuvaneshwari had a vivid dream. She had spent the day in the shrine and, as evening deepened into night, she fell asleep. The household was hushed in silence and rest. Then in the highest heavens the hour struck. The time had come for the pious woman to receive the special grace of the Lord. In her dream, she saw the Lord Shiva rouse himself from his meditation and take the form of a male child who was to be her son. She awoke. Could this ocean of light in which she found herself bathed be but a dream? Shiva, Shiva, thou fulfillest in various ways the prayers of thy devotees. From the inmost soul of Bhuvaneshwari, a joyous prayer welled up, for she was confident that her long months of supplication were over, and that the vision was an announcement that her prayers were soon to be answered. Her faith was justified, for in due course a son was born to her. The light of the world dawned for the first time upon the future Swami Vivekananda on Monday, January 12, 1863. It was the holy morning hour, 33 minutes and 33 seconds after 6, a few minutes before sunrise. At the time of his birth, the constellation Sagittarius was rising in the east. The moon was in the constellation Virgo. The planet Jupiter was in the 11th house, and Saturn was in the 10th from that of his birth. It was the 7th day of the new moon, Krishna Saptami, and, as chance would have it, the last day of the 9th Bengali month Paush, known as Makara Sankranti Day, a great Hindu festival. The millions of men and women who were observing the festival unknowingly greeted the newborn babe with prayers and worship. They little knew that he had just been born, who was to usher in a new age of glory for his country, who was to reorganize the spiritual and national consciousness of India, and who was to become a great apostle, a Saint Paul, preaching unto the world another gospel of redemption, namely the message of Vedanta. And only a few miles north of Calcutta, in the garden of Dakshineshwar, a great seer was waiting for the coming of this babe, who was to grow into manhood to carry on his great work. The household members were surprised at the features of the newborn babe. They believed that they resembled in many ways those of his grandfather, Durga Prasad, who had renounced the world, and they wondered if the monk had been born again. Thus, when the time came for a name to be given to the infant, there was much discussion. Some thought it should be Durga Prasad, but when they asked the mother, she looked into the depths of the child's eyes as if she would see into his very soul. There was a strange stillness for some moments. Then she turned to them and with much feeling said, "Let his name be Vireshwar, so shall he be called." Those who heard this were satisfied. They called him Bile for short. Later he came to be Narendranath or Naren. As Bhuvaneshwari would gaze unblinking at the face of the lovely, healthy babe in her lap, her heart would fill with pride and she would shed tears of joy, for she at last held in her arms her much longed for darling of many prayers. But this was no ordinary babe. In him was hidden a tremendous power, and she was faced with the difficult problem of containing his irrepressible restlessness. He was hardly 3, but already complaints against him for breach of peace were mounting. Narendranath was a naughty child, subject to fits of restlessness during which he was beyond control. At such times, he would wear the family out. Bribes, threats, everything was tried. Nothing was of any avail. Finally, Bhuvaneshwari found that if she poured cold water on the head of the screaming child, chanting the name of Shiva in his ears at the same time, or if she threatened him with, "Shiva will not let you go to Kailas if you do not behave," he would quiet down and become his eager, joyous self again. It was after such scenes that the mother used to say, "I prayed to Shiva for a son, and he has sent me one of his demons." In her old age, Bhuvaneshwari once told this to a group of disciples whom her son had brought from the West. There was laughter, and the mother smiled in a reminiscent way. "Was he turbulent?" asked one of the Western disciples. "Well, I had to have 2 nurses for him constantly," she replied. But aside from these outbursts, he was a sunny-tempered, sweet, and loving child, and would scamper to anyone who would take him on his lap. He was one of those children who trust all implicitly and feel joy each moment of that period during which the world is a constant surprise. Naren had a great fancy for wandering monks. Whenever a sadhu came to the door, the boy was delighted and rushed towards him. One day, a monk came and asked for alms. All that Naren had was a hand-embroidered dhoti wrapped around his waist. He was proud of his new cloth, for it was his first garment marking his passage out of infancy. But straight away, he gave it to the sadhu, who tied it around his head and went away blessing the boy. When asked what had become of the cloth, the boy replied, "The sadhu begged for alms, and I gave it to him." Many sadhus came to the house, knowing that they were always welcome there. Vishwanath Datta was very hospitable, and there was with him the memory of his own father, who had become a monk. But after the above incident, a close guard was kept on Naren. Whenever any sadhu put in an appearance, Naren was kept locked up until the wanderer had left. Still, that did not disconcert the child. He would throw out of the window to the caller anything the room contained as an offering. He would have his way, and he would dance with glee.
Truly, the morning shows the day. He was always giving, Swami Vivekananda. So let us now chant one stotra at the page 2. Anita drisheshu Bibicha nityam Tasmin samadhata Ihasmalilaya Viveka vairagya Vishuddha Chitam Yoso Viveki Tamaham Namami Tam Aham Namami. To you, Tvam Aham I Namami. The you means Vivekananda. I am bowing down to you. Viveka Vairagya Vishuddha Chittam. There are 2 things are there. One is Viveka, a clear understanding of thing. They call it discrimination. And even if you give something, he will immediately understand which is correct and which is wrong. So that is very, very rare. That is very, very rare. This discriminative power, to understanding power, is so less. That is why you will find most of the politicians, they use this. So the people can't understand which is correct and which is wrong. So they will put the thing in such a way. That is why Viveka, and not only in the worldly life, in spiritual life, this is very, very important. The Viveka, the moment the discrimination is there, Vairagya, he gives up. So giving up is Vairagya. Vishuddha Chittam. If you can give up, then your heart, your mind become completely pure. And what to give up? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, Ahamkara, I-ness, I am doing the doership. That conception, if it goes, then it becomes Vishuddha. Yoso Viveki, and that whose heart was so pure, I bow down. Let us do once again the first line. Anita Drisheshu Vivicha Nityam Tasmin Samadhata Ihasmalilaya Viveka Vairagya Vishuddha Chittam Yoso Viveki Tamaham Namami Vivekananda Nimagna Chittam Vivekadanaika Vinodashilam Viveka Bhasa Kamaniya Kanti Vivekinam Tam Satatam Namami. This Swami, the Kamaniya Kanti, his feature was so attractive. If you read the reports that was published in different newspapers in America, when he appeared on the world parliament stage, each and every one, not a single report will miss that Vivekananda was really very handsome. And so much so, people could not forget that. So that Kamaniya Kanti, Kamaniya is a beautiful, attractive Kanti. And here in America, they appreciate it. Though he was not in that bright color in his skin like the Americans. But still, they say, we have never seen such a beautiful person. This Vivekananda. Ritan cha vijnanam adhisrayataya nirantaram chadi madhyantahinam sukham surupam prakaroti yasya anandamurtim tamaham namami. Anandamurti, he was always the embodiment of joy. Though he was a very hard tax master, Very, very artist master. Once when in Belur he organized, and all monks and other young Swamis and Brahmacharis, they were working hard to organize the Durga Puja. Ma Sharadamani Devi also came to attend that. Then Vivekananda went to mother and told, Ma, give me some the fever so that I can go and lie down in the room. Why? This is puja time. Why should you get the fever? No. Otherwise, these young people, they are working so hard, but I am not satisfied. I want very perfect work, and I will be scolding them. At a time of puja before you, I don't like to scold them. So give me fever, so let me go and lie down. When the puja will be over, just call me, I will come down. The Ananda Murti, but at the same time very hard task master. It's not so easy to work for Vivekananda. So this Vivekananda is Ananda Murti. Now, beautifully they are explaining in these two sentences. Suryo yatha dhammehi tamo nihanti Vishnur yatha dushta janan chinati tathaiva yasya akhila netra lobham rupam tritapam vimukhi karoti. The moment the sun is rising, all the darkness goes away. When the Vishnu, the protector, he's slain all the demons, like that, this Vivekananda removed all the ignorance from the hearts of the people. That was the power, the godly power. So it says, the Vimukhi karoti tritapam. Tritapam, there are three different types of problem. Adi bhautika, Adi daivika, and adhyatmika. This is tapa. Adi daiva is the nature. Sometimes the people, they are in problem because of the nature. Adi daiva. So I have to say, oh God, please bless me so that there is no problem from the nature. Adi bhautika, all around people also should be friendly with you. Otherwise, it's so difficult to live. Adi bhautika and adhyatmika, that is within yourself. You should have to understand people properly. There are so many different varieties of people. Some will praise you, some will appreciate you, some will criticize, some will go against you. But you have to live. So that is, you have to understand, and you have to go on praying to God. Oh God, please, with whom I am living, they should be friendly with me. So the life becomes very easy. So these three, Adi Daiva, Adi Bhuta and Adhyatma, these three he removes. Swami Vivekananda. Last line. Tam Deshikendram Paramam Pavitram Vishwasya Palam Madhuram Yatindram Hitaya Nrinam Naramurti Mantam Viveka Ananda Aham Namami. Paramam Pavitram Vishwasya Palam Madhuram Yatindram. Yati means monk, sannyasi. And among the Yati, he is like the Indra, the king of gods. So one day Swami Vivekananda was going to that the Kashmir, the not Kish Bhavani, what is that? Shiva temple? Amarnath. And he was going to Amarnath, but that time he was also followed by some of the Western disciples. In that time, in India, nowadays most of the gurus will be going around with all Western disciples. In that time it was impossible. Only the monks are going, and he was followed by Sister Nivedita and many other ladies, American and British ladies. The monks never liked it. And they were criticizing. He didn't say anything. Then in one place, when they camped, then some people came and in a very abusive language, these monks, their very abusive language they were using against Swamiji. Swamiji came out and he was about to go and say something, and old Swami from that group came running and said in folded hands, "They do not know who are you, but Swami, you know who are you. So please don't punish them. They're ignorant people. They do not know." This is the Shiva. The Shiva was going to visit Shiva. Only few people could understand, naturally. So this is Vivekananda, and he was the yati among the all sannyasis. He was the highest. But apparently, people still now, some people will be criticizing why the monk should wear the shoe. Nowadays, little bit, India has become little the wealthy. Now almost everyone is having the shoes, so they didn't complain about the shoes. So that is the problem. If you are not having, then immediately if anybody is having, you are angry. And particularly if the monks are having. Then nowadays, almost all people are little bit good in the economy. So Sri Ramakrishna gave him that power, and he came in this country and he completely converted, we can say, all the powerful, mighty people and the high society people in favor of India. Can you imagine? Just few lectures. And all these rich people, they opened their doors for Swami Vivekananda. They used to feel joy and pride if Vivekananda was the guest in their houses. Can you imagine that? One man without any support, and all people were criticizing in India also. So this is because of his yati, the sannyasi, that power was there. Why he did all this? If he is a monk, the sannyasi, why then he came to America? Not as a tourist. Hitaya nrinam naramurtimandam. But for the benefit of the people. Who are the people? Indian people particularly. Then in general, all over. Why in India? Because the highest truth that was discovered over there and that was practiced over there, highest philosophy. And what is that highest philosophy? Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi. They never say that you are a sinner. Not a single sentence is there in our scripture where they mention you are a sinner. No. Afterwards, when the Brahminical some period came, they started adding something, but that is not the true Hinduism. Hinduism always say you are also the pure. Srindantu Vishye Amritasya Putra. That was the call. You are the children of immortal bliss. I am pure, you are also pure. That idea. But for many reasons, particularly the political reason, one after another, the invaders came, they control India, they rule India, the culture, it is very difficult. So this is Vivekananda once again, he is rejuvenating and re-establishing alone, all alone. And when he started his mission, he was 29 years old. When he completed, he has 39 years, only 10 years. And look at it, without the help of any government support or the business houses, almost all over the world Ramakrishna missions are there. We are having more than 200 centers all over the world and 2,000 sannyasins who are managing this. And this is the Vivekananda's contribution continuing. What we do, in India and other places like Asian countries, we give the education, healthcare, these, that, but that is because they need it. But here, you always speak about the Vedanta. And what is that Vedanta? When there is no narrowness. So we have to understand that. Some of the people, they send donation through us to India and Bangladesh and all. But when you say, what about us? No, you are in America, you don't need. What in America? So this is they always think in this way. In America, the work that we do is more effective. More effective. Giving some food, giving some clothing, or the warm clothing in the cold winter season. That is a temporary. But here we are spreading the Vedanta, the true knowledge. What will happen? We will understand I and he and she and they are not different. We are one. The once we can establish this in the minds of the people, all other problems will be solved. So this is what Swamiji did. Hitaya nrinam naramuttimantam viveka ananda aham namami. After this, usually we chant another pranam mantra. In the first page you can see, but the tune changes a little. Namasriyati Rajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Satchit Sukha. These are the three words usually used for the Brahman. Otherwise, it is very difficult to explain Brahman. Because Brahman is beyond any words. So Sat Chit Sukha is eternal. And he is full of knowledge. And he is also blissful. These are the three conceptions. And we are also the same. Vedanta again and again proved that way. So why the Brahman is this? Because we are like that. We also like to live. We don't like to die. That is Sat. Where from this thought came, idea came, desire came, we should live. Chit, the knowledge, always we like to know. And Sukha, Ananda, we want bliss, we want joy. So these are the three proofs. Friends, I will now invite Abhijit to read a few passages, quotations from Swami Vivekananda based on the Vedanta. I don't know whether Abhijit will like it or not, but I like to announce one thing about him. It's so rare to renounce this world, right? So we always go and touch the feet of the Swamis. But when your son wants to become Swami, you say no. Let other be Swami, and we will go and give them some apples and touch the feet. But you should be capable to purchase that all. Go and work. You know, this young man has decided to go and join in India and to become a monk of the Ramakrishna order. Please pray for him. Prabhuji.
Thank you, Swamiji, for this great honor. Today, hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about Swami Vivekananda's view on the Atman or the self. The background, the reality of everyone is the same, eternal, ever-present, ever-blessed, and ever-perfect one. It's the same, it's the Atman, the soul, in the saint and the sinner, in the happy and the miserable, in the beautiful and the ugly, in men and in animals. It's the same throughout. It is the shining one. Here I stand, and if I shut my eyes and try to conceive my existence, understand my existence, I. What is the idea before me? The idea of a body. Am I then nothing but a combination of material substances? The Vedas declare no. I am a spirit living in a body. The body will die, but I shall not die. Here am I in this body. It will fall, but I shall go on living. The Vedas say that the whole world is a mixture of independence and dependence, of freedom and slavery. But through it all shines the soul, independent, immortal, pure, perfect, holy. For it is independent, it cannot perish, because death is but a change. If independent, it must be perfect, for imperfection is again a change and depends on other conditions, therefore dependent. And this immortal and perfect soul must be the same in the highest gods and in the humblest man. The difference between them being only in the degree in which the soul manifests itself. It cannot be that soul knows. It is knowledge itself. It cannot be that the soul is happy. It is happiness itself. That which is happy has borrowed its happiness. That which has knowledge has received its knowledge, and that which has relative existence has only a reflected existence. That very thing which we now see as the universe will appear to us as God, the Absolute. And that very God, who has so long been external, will appear to be internal, as our own self. There is no change whatsoever in the soul. Infinite, absolute, eternal, knowledge, bliss, and existence. If there is a common doctrine that runs through all our apparently fighting in contradictory sects, it is that all glory, all power and purity are within the soul already. Only according to Ramanuj, the soul contracts and expands at times. According to Shankar, the soul comes under a delusion. Never mind these differences. All, I repeat, all admit the truth that the power is there, potential or manifest. It is there. And the sooner you believe that, the better for you. The feeling of independence which possesses us all shows there is something in us besides mind and body. The soul that reigns within is independent and creates the desire for freedom. Each soul is a star, and all stars are set in that infinite azure, that eternal sky, the Lord. there is the root, the reality, the real individuality of each and all. Religion began with the search after some of these stars that had passed beyond our horizon and ended in finding them all in God and ourselves in the same place. Know then that thou art He, and model your whole life accordingly. And he who knows this and models his life accordingly will no more grovel in darkness. This truth about the soul is first to be heard. If you have heard it, think about it. Once you have done that, meditate upon it. No more vain arguments. Satisfy yourself once and for all, you are the infinite spirit. If that is true, it must be nonsense that you are the body. You are the self, and that must be realized. Spirit must see itself as spirit. Now the spirit is seeing itself as the body. That must stop. The moment you begin to realize that, you are released. As we cannot know except through effects that we have eyes, so we cannot see the self except by its effects. It cannot be brought down to the low plane of sense perception. It is the condition of everything in the universe, though itself unconditioned. It's not for the sake of husband that the wife loves the husband, but for the sake of the Atman that she loves the husband, because she loves the self. Now, none loves the wife for the sake of the wife, but it is because he loves the self that he loves the wife. None loves the children for the children, but because one loves the self, therefore one loves the children. None loves the wealth on account of the wealth, but because one loves the self, therefore one loves the wealth. None loves the Brahman for the sake of the Brahman, but because one loves the self. And similarly, none loves the Kshatriya for the sake of the Kshatriya, but because one loves the self. Neither does anyone loves the world on account of the world, but because one loves the self. None similarly loves the God on account of the gods, but because one loves the self. None loves a thing for that thing's sake, but it is for the self that one loves it. This self, therefore, is to be heard, reasoned about, and meditated upon. Within there is the lion, the eternally pure, illumined, and ever-free Atman. And directly one realizes it through meditation and concentration, this world of Maya vanishes. It is equally present in all, and the more one practices, the quicker does the Kundalini, the coiled up power, awakens in one. When this power reaches the mind, one's vision is unobstructed. One realizes the Atman. Whom the ignorant worship, him I preach unto thee. This one and only God is the knowest of the known. He is the only thing we see everywhere. All know their own self. All know I am, even animals. All we know is the projection of the self. The self-existent one is far removed from the organs. The organs are instruments, see outwards, but the self-existing one, the self, is seen inwards. You must remember the qualification that is required, the desire to know this self by turning the eye inwards. Now here is a warning from Swamiji. Those who are evildoers, whose minds are not peaceful, can never see the light. It is those who are true in heart, pure in deed, whose senses are controlled, that this self manifests itself. This Atman is not to be reached by too much talking, nor is it to be reached by the power of the intellect. nor by much study of the scriptures. After long searches here and there, in temples and in churches, in earths and in heavens, at last you come back, completing the circle, from where you started, to your own soul, and find that He, for whom you have been seeking all around the world, for whom you have been weeping and praying in churches and in temples, on whom you were looking as the mystery of all mysteries, shrouded in the clouds, is nearest of the near, is yourself, the reality of your life, body, and soul. Thank you so much for patiently listening to me. Thank you.
And I must thank Barry and Avijit for the wonderfully reading the passages. And the first thing Avijit has to give up after reaching India and joining in the ashram is his beer. No chance to keep that. And then slowly the hair also will go. And here in America we keep some little hair, but there they will come and they shape the whole thing, and not only that, they will keep a little over here at the back. That's called chitti. That is also there. So that you have to accept with as a tradition. So thank you, Avijit. And he was quoting the Swamiji's passage, the Swamiji is quoting from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And there, the old, very old Upanishad, they have the habit of repeating the same thing. Why? Because if you say once that the husband loves wife not for the body but for the self, and the wife loves husband but for the self, very sufficient. No, they will go on repeating. So that's why sometimes we feel bored. Why so many times they are telling? Because it will go down into our consciousness, our senses. So everything that we see is nothing but the self. So we love this body so much, our personal body, we love it so much. But when I am dead, my friends will bury it or burn it, isn't it? So we don't love that body, we love something about which we are not aware. The moment we are aware about that, the Atman, the self, that is called mukti, that is called liberation, that is the highest religion. Friend, you must be having this page, right? So, go and distribute. You are having this?
Yes.
We had a lot of Sanskrit, now we have little English. English song. So this goes like this. Long back when we were brahmacharis, myself and Tyagananda Boston, we sang this in like 12th January, I've forgotten, maybe 1986, something like that. So we sang in Belur Math. So 12,000 youth, they gathered, and before them. So that was composed that time. Get up, O my brethren.
Get up, O my brethren.
Get up with your ancient glory.
Get up with your ancient glory.
Get up, O my brethren.
Get up, O my brethren.
Get up with your ancient glory.
Get up with
See Swami Ji by your side.
See Swami Ji by your side.
Shake off all your vague weakness.
Shake off all your vague weakness.
See Swami Ji by your side.
See Swami Ji by your side.
Shake off all your vague weakness.
Shake off all your vague weakness.
Remember your real nature.
Remember your real nature.
That you are as pure as Father in heaven.
As pure as Father in heaven.
Just now, the Swamiji, he was quoting that we are all pure. So that purity, whom we call God, are the same. Remember your real nature.
Remember your real nature.
That you are as pure as Father in heaven.
As pure as Father in heaven.
Swami Ji, please hold our hands.
Swami Ji, please hold our hands.
Give us courage to fill up our hearts.
Give us courage to fill up our hearts.
Weeping at your lotus feet.
Weeping at your lotus feet.
Millions of your countrymen.
Millions of your countrymen.
Which is the country Swami Vivekananda belongs? India? He said, no. When the Indians were telling, he said, no, I belong to everyone, everywhere, whole humanity. The Swamiji's country is this whole world. Weeping at your lotus feet.
Weeping at your lotus feet.
Millions of your countrymen.
Millions of your countrymen.
Get up, O my brethren.
Get up, O my brethren.
Get up with your ancient glory.
Get up with your ancient glory.
See Swami Ji by your side.
See Swami Ji by your side.
Shake off all your vague weakness.
Shake off all your vague weakness.
We have renounced the world.
We have renounced the world.
And have taken up saffron flag.
And have taken up saffron flag.
About the pronunciation, I was appreciating how the Bari was pronouncing the Indian names. Swamiji's mother's name, Swamiji's sister's name perfectly. I see, look at me, I can't pronounce a word. So, because we've grown up in that way, we have renounced the world.
We have renounced the world.
And have taken up saffron flag.
And have taken up saffron flag.
Now waiting for your order.
Now waiting for your order.
O Swamiji, our leader.
O Swami Ji, our leader.
We will destroy which is evil.
We will destroy which is evil.
And will build up our world as happy as heaven.
Our world as happy as heaven.
Swami Ji, please hold our hands.
Swami Ji, please hold our hands.
Give us courage to fill up our hearts.
Give us courage to fill up our hearts.
Weeping at your lotus feet,
Weeping at your lotus feet.
millions of your countrymen,
Millions of your countrymen.
get up, O my brethren,
Get up, O my brethren.
get up with your ancient glory.
Get up with your ancient glory.
The last two lines goes like this. Get up, O my brethren.
Get up, O my brethren.
Get up with your ancient glory.
Get up with your ancient glory.
So beautiful. Now I will chant from the Dhyana mantra of Swami Vivekananda. And I think the puja is also almost over. So after that, we will meditate when he will be doing the arati. Then the pushpanjali, the flower will come to you. I will chant the mantra. You can repeat after me. Let us repeat this dhyana mantra of Swami Vivekananda. Om Vishyacharya Jagadvandam Vivekananda Rupinam Vireshwarat Samutpannam Shaptarshi Mandalagatam Jnana Bhakti Pradataram Padmaksha Gaura Vigraham Dhyayet Devam Yati Punjam Loka Kalyana He is the teacher of the world, Vishyacharyam, Jagat Bandham, and worshipped by all, the whole world. Vivekananda Rupinam, and he is Swami Vivekananda. Vireshwarat Samutpannam, he is the Vireshwara Shiva. You know, the Shiva has different names. And Swami Vivekananda was particularly, his mother worshipped Vireshwara Shiva. So his name was also Vireshwara and his short was Bile. So Vireshwara Samutpannam, from that Shiva, Shaptarshi Mandalagatam, and he advented from the circle of 7 rishis. As you know, in the life of Swami Vivekananda, if you have read, that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, I saw him sitting along with the other 6, 7, the Shaptarshi Mandala. Shapta Rishi, they can retain their individuality in that Brahman. That is called Shapta Rishi. Only 7 could save their own individuality and personalities. One of them, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna didn't mention about him. He said, a little boy approached him and said, you have to come down for the service of the humanity. So that is Shaptarshi Mangalagatam Jnana Bhakti Pradataram. What he is giving? Knowledge and devotion. Padmaksha, his eyes are so beautiful. Here, Swamiji's eyes are closed. Padmaksha Gaura Vigraham, and his body was Gaura, that is very fair complex. Now we, Dhyayet Devam Yati Punjam, we meditate on that God Loka Kalyana and he is the one who does the good for the world. So Loka Kalyana. We will chant this mantra once again, then we will meditate when you will come and do the arati. Om Vishyacharya Yagat Vandam Vivekananda Rupinam Vireshwarat Samutpannam Shaptarshi Mandalagatam Jnana Bhakti Pradataram Padmaksha Gaura Vigraham Dhayet Devam Yati Punjam Loka Kalyana Karinam. So you are having the flowers with you? So please repeat this mantra 3 times. I will say. Om Oim Isha Shachandana Pushpa Srimad Vivekanandaya Namaha. Om Oim Isha Shachandana Pushpa Srimad Vivekanandaya Namaha. Om Oim Isha Shachandana Pushpa Srimad Vivekanandaya Namaha. Now this pranam mantra. Om Paratatte Sadalino Ramakrishna Samagaya Yo Dharma Sthapanarato Vire Shantam Namamyaham. Om Paratatte Sadalino Ramakrishna Samagaya Yo Dharma Sthapanarato Vire Shantam Namamyaham. Om Paratatte Sadalino Ramakrishna Samagaya Yo Dharma Sthapanarato Vire Shantam Namamyaham. Jai Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna Dev Ki. So only joy is happening. Jai Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna Dev Ki. Jai Mahamai Ki. Jai Swami Ji Maharaj Ji Ki. Jai Raja Maharaj Ji Ki. Jai Bhagavan Jishu Krishna Dev Ki. Jai Bhagavan Buddha Dev Ki. Jai Ganga Mai Ki. Jai Swami Ji Maharaj Ji Ki. Now you can please come and offer your flower over here, and whatever the pranami you like to give, offer on that plate also. See also